So, welcome. We've got a special guest today, Mr. Bob Pennypacker. What a name, I must say, from Artisan in Healdsburg, Sotheby's. And thanks so much for joining us today, Bob. And congrats on a very successful year in 2020. I know it wasn't easy for a lot of us, but I'm really excited to hear how you kind of came out ahead and share with everyone how you've been so successful. So, before we begin, I would love if you could just give a little background on yourself for everyone to get to know you a bit.
First of all, thank you for inviting me. It's really a pleasure to have the opportunity to share my enthusiasm for ActivePipe and the great support staff. It's been a great part of the year. So I spent 25 years as an architect, working mainly on some very large commercial and transportation projects. And I really enjoyed the complexity of those. But after a couple decades, what I figured what was missing was the contact with the end users. Because with the big projects, you're dealing with board members, focus groups, all that stuff. So I did my lifestyle migration a number of years ago to Northern California's wine country and established a one-man residential design practice and loved it. And loved it so much, I decided to be my own client and build a spec house. And through that, saw real estate from a totally different perspective. And at one point, I just decided this is what I needed to be doing. And so I got my license and never looked back. And design is just such a small part of real estate. And dealing with all the intricacies we deal with in this profession just is extremely satisfying to me.
Yeah, thanks so much for sharing that. I think it's like important context for everybody listening because you have a very unique way of marketing because of your passion for, design and architecture, which I think is really cool. So talk to me about some of the most important factors that have like kind of led to you being so successful this past year.
Well, when I first started in real estate, it was clear that there was this continual march towards better and more digital content. So I started taking my property brochures and market reports and turning them into flip books online. And about a little over 5 years ago, I discovered the impact of video, and especially in terms of storytelling. And this was um, tremendously exciting. But the challenge was getting to any point of mass distribution. Um, as far as I know, we still can't embed videos on printed material, and QR
One day,
code.
maybe.
One day,
Yeah.
QR codes only go so far.
Yeah.
So, in any case, um, I see marketing as trying to inspire people to be part of something bigger than themselves. A house is more than its square footage and number of bedrooms. It's about the location, the history, the character of the neighborhood and community, and of course its architectural style, and ultimately the lifestyle it offers. So no matter what price point, I build stories around those much more subjective qualities, um, because I want people to find meaning in their properties. It's
Yeah.
more about it's as much about stewardship as it is about ownership, and people respond to that, especially now during COVID, uh, when people are reassessing their values and understanding that
Definitely.
they don't have to postpone lifestyle decisions.
Yeah, I'm a perfect example of that. I definitely have drastically changed the way I look at the next home that I want now that I never leave home. So that makes a lot of sense. Um, I notice your passion conveys and shows in a lot of emails. I'm excited to show everyone that has joined us today kind of how you convey that passion for homes in your emails. But today we're really here to talk about how ActivePipe and how that has contributed to your success. So I'd love to hear in your own words how ActivePipe has helped you this past year be so successful.
Yeah, so I just recently completed my overview of my 2020 marketing. What worked, what didn't, where the jury's still out. And one thing is very, very clear. ActivePipe works. It was my primary marketing tool for all of 2020. And, you know,
We love to hear that.
for 3 years prior, or so our marketing department signed up with ActivePipe just, I think, exactly a year ago. Prior to that, I'd spent 3 years using other platforms. And when I saw the results I was getting on ActivePipe, I was just kind of blown away. It was just pretty awesome. And it's only been a year, and I still feel like I'm just scratching the surface of what it can really do. But so far, I'm thrilled. So the kind of emails that I send out are pretty basic. And so it keeps the organization of my contacts fairly simple. And I expect as I get more and more into it, I'll be um, refining the tags, etc.
So I'm going to stop you there because to me, being in customer success, the biggest hurdle to using ActivePipe seems to be around contacts and tagging. So I just see a lot of customers struggling with, how do I tag them or what's the process of uploading them, that kind of thing. So I'd love to hear what your top suggestions are for organizing and tagging contacts.
I think what pushed me, I had the same, when I started email marketing, I had the same reservations about having to organize my contacts. But what motivated me when was when I saw what this could do. It just that gave me the push to, okay, I'm going to organize this. It's worth it, right? And so I now have 3 email types as of this week, but previously I had just had 2 email types: general interest stuff to my clients and sphere of influence, and then the broader um, listing property emails that I send not only to my clients, but also to both local and regional um, agents and brokers. And, the reason I don't, whether my clients or past clients are in the market or not, I still like to send them properties because, real estate's a spectator sport in a way. And you never know when somebody might jump in. You could send them a property and they, whoa, I got to have that or something. And, that I've had enough experience of that happening to keep working in that direction.
Okay, that
All
makes
right.
a lot of sense. Sorry, I was trying to read one of the questions we had in our chat. What is our way for agents who have the smart feed feature to understand that it's benefiting them and not hurting them?
What was that?
I'm trying to. It's a question about the smart feed feature, which I don't know. Do you use that, Bob? The smart feed
No, I don't
feature?
use that. Not yet, anyway. I need to find out about it for sure.
Yeah, I'm curious if the person asking means smart send, which is one of our tools that we use that basically goes through and sees all the contacts that aren't interacting with your emails. So like after you send 3 emails, that contact is kind of marked as, okay, this person's not engaging with your emails. We're going to pull them off your email list for a while so that you're not bombarding them. And then in 90 days, it adds them back on, which to me is a great benefit because the open rate like skyrockets because you're actually sending it to people that want
To
it.
people who want it, right?
Yeah, exactly. And then, but the smart feed feature, that's a feature that basically you can turn on when you pull in properties. And I'll show it actually really quick. Sorry to pause, Bob.
No, no problem. Is this opportunity to learn?
Yeah, exactly. So the smart feed feature is when you come into your email editor and you drag and drop in a property. And then you turn on the defining properties, and there's all these different tabs that can help you sort out what properties you want to pull. But in the contact one, this is smart match. Oh, wait, let me go back to the question. Smart feed feature. I'm curious. I haven't heard of smart feed, so I'm not sure where that's smart send. Okay, so I already went over it. Okay, well, we're good. But since I'm here, everybody that isn't aware, smart match is something that you can turn on, and all of the information that you have in for your contacts. So like, let's say, Bob, you have a customer that wants 3 bedrooms and you've put that into ActivePipe. This is now saying when that contact gets the email, only show them, well, not only, show them the properties that have 3 bedrooms. It's going to pull all those ones to the top. So it's going to reorder the properties that are pulling in here, just in case anyone didn't understand that.
So that's similar to a feature I use on my MLS, probably.
Yeah, yes, exactly. It's very similar to the way that MLS works. Okay, so where were we? Did we just finish our conversation about?
Let's see.
We were talking about contacts and how you organize them.
Right.
Was that everything you wanted to
Yeah,
share?
that's pretty much everything on that.
Okay, cool. So now that we know how you organize your contacts, I want to hear about what you're sending to all of your contacts. So I know you've shared some examples with me. I'll pull those up and maybe you can talk a little bit about what you're doing email-wise.
I'd like, the thing that got me really going full steam ahead in ActivePipe was the when our first shelter in place, there was all these hair on fire stories about the market crashing and what are we going to do? And I'm thinking the best thing I can be doing for my clients is to stay focused on the facts. And I started doing market updates kind of weekly. And the response was very positive. And so I kept that up for about 8 weeks. And I put them together in these kind of flip books and attached it to a link in an ActivePipe email. And when, of course, the market wasn't crashing, at least our local market was kind of exploding. And as a result of sending this stuff out every week, when shelter in place relaxed, I had 2 new listings from my contact group. So that showed me that this stuff really works.
Yeah. We have another.
So you can scroll through more. Oh, so this is kind of funny. Or if you go to the next page, over on the right side, the arrow.
Yes. Oh yeah. Am I clicking this next page?
Yeah, like all this stuff. One client told me, "Yeah, that's great, Bob. You seem to be on top of things there." But I look at a spreadsheet and just my eyes glaze over. So
I feel that though. I actually feel that.
So I don't know if you want to show that other one that put together after.
Oh,
Or
yes. Let me pull that up. It was
that's
this
the
one, right?
one. That's the one.
I love
This
this.
got people's attention. So one of the things I really like in the ActivePipe is that you can make it all as interactive as you want. And I had a lot of time on my hands because we couldn't show properties. So I went a little crazy with how data is presented. I like to,
So were you sending this to, I know all of you're sending this to all of your contacts, but were you also sharing this with other agents?
I wasn't. Um,
Okay, I was
and
just curious.
yeah,
Because I know you were mentioning that the marketing department at your brokerage, um, has a lot of agent feeds that they provided for you or
oh,
agent
right,
listings that
right.
you, sorry, not
So yeah,
agent
that's
contacts. And so,
all of my property emails go to the um, shared list as well, which
okay.
includes not only the local brokers, but um, the Greater Bay Area.
How
And
many opportunities do you think you get out of sending to agents out of the area?
so over the last year, I had 2 referrals from agents in San Francisco,
Mm-hmm.
and also the sending to agents out of the area, particularly San Francisco. Um, I get showings out of that, because people are escaping urban areas, wanting to come up here,
Yeah.
and it's not that far, but they're not looking on the Sonoma County MLS, but you put stuff in front of them. Oh, you didn't have to show that. um, they're looking on the Sonoma County MLS, but you put this stuff in front of them and they think of a client that, okay,
Yeah.
I need to take them up there and show that. And these, the property emails always generate showings. It's great.
Yeah. Someone in the audience actually had a question, which is a good one. It's how did you do this cool GIF up here at the top?
Um, yeah, so I created like a little animation on
Mm-hmm.
Windows Live Movie Maker. It was just, that's consists of about 4 or 5 different images. And on what Live Movie Maker, you can time those and transition them and turn them into a video. But you can't put video on directly on ActivePipe. What it did is then you go to you search. I don't know which platform it was or website, but I think it's something like GIF Maker or something like that, and you just upload the video, and it
Mm.
turns it into a GIF. It's not that complicated. It might have taken a half hour or so, start to finish. And
Oh,
again, I
that's
did that when we couldn't show houses, so I had plenty of time on my hands. But that's one of the things I like to include is all that um, the movement, because that stimulates the primal brain and you immediately have people's attention.
That's so true. Yeah, I love it. It looks really good. Lisa said that we need to add it into the platform, and I couldn't agree more. Um, so Bob, you were saying, and I interrupted you, and I'm so sorry, but you send out your emails one property at a time. Talk to me about why you do that.
Oh, so that's a result of the reporting. I've tried multiple properties, and when I go in and look at the click-throughs, the first property would have the most number of clicks. You have 4 properties on there, and it slowly dwindles as you work your way down the email. And that's one thing. So if I have 4 listings, but just do one property at a time, my click-through rate is much higher. and for each property. And I have 4 weeks of fresh content. I'm not sending out the same email every week with the same properties.
Yeah,
Um,
that makes a lot of
and
sense.
yeah, it works. It's worked very well.
Yeah, that's good to know. I'm sure it works differently for, everyone. But that's really good feedback for even me just to share with clients that maybe just highlighting one at a time is a good way to ensure that people are actually going to look at everything that you
Right.
send. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
and
really
people
cool.
tend to click on both the property website and the video, which is which is good.
Oh, I'm on mute. That's awesome. So I would also love to know, we're getting close on time. What are some of your favorite active pipe features? And
Well, one of my most recent favorites is that little button up top there. It says preview and
yeah,
send preview. So
why are you laughing, Bob?
one Saturday, I had a showing I was rushing to, and I needed my weekly email to go out, and so I got it all set up. Didn't have time to preview it. The subject line was Sonoma County Vineyard Estate. So I just hit send and went off to the showing. And I arrived a little bit early. Um, well, I wasn't early, the clients were late. And so I was checking through my emails and was just absolutely horrified because I'd left the O out of county.
This is my favorite customer story ever.
And as soon as the showing was over, I rushed back to my computer and sent out a apology and correction. And gotta say, the hope that those two emails had probably among my highest open rates. They were above 30%. That's
Oh my goodness, that is just too funny.
but it's not a strategy I would recommend or I hope to never duplicate it. But
Yeah.
what was really uh, what was really nice after sending out the apology, I must have gotten 200 emails. The response was just so generous, and it just felt really part of a community because of that.
That's
It was
awesome.
actually very nice.
I
Very
hope everybody,
embarrassing.
yeah, very embarrassing, but very also, it just makes you human, Bob. Uh, we all make mistakes, and that is quite a funny one. So everybody that's listening, please learn from Bob's hilarious
Right.
mistake.
That
And
preview button.
this preview button is very useful.
So,
Um,
among the other features I really appreciate, the reporting, I guess we talked about the reporting. That has been invaluable just in terms of like I'll switch up whether I use buttons or images or whatever to click through, and pretty much all of the images I use um, are linked to some other content, and it's good to see what works better than others.
Yeah, so talking about reporting, I just want to pull this up and kind of hear the main things that you look at. So I know you're a big proponent of open rate, but you also like to see what are the links that most people are interacting with.
Right. So the thumbnail there, that's the video, and it's good. 43 people looking at a video that's pretty good.
Yeah, definitely.
And if you
Uh,
want, click on that there, and I like to see how many times people are actually, if they go back and look at it again, and then maybe I need to give them a call.
yeah, I love that you're taking advantage of this and then adapting your emails, accordingly. It's really, really cool to see and a great way to ensure that your audience is excited to receive your emails. Um, so, well, now that you've shared your key to success with ActivePipe, is there any tools, like other tools that you use, hand in hand with ActivePipe or just on the side that you kind of want to give credit
Yeah,
to?
I have a YouTube channel. I have Flip Snack account through Sotheby's Presentation Suite, and that's where all the flip books are. Um, I'm very active on Facebook, and what what makes ActivePipe so important to me is that it's the glue that keeps all these things connected. That when I send out these emails, people can find my YouTube channel, they can see my online publications, they can visit me on Facebook, they can do all that stuff. And it's to me, it's really incredible tool.
That's awesome. Thanks for saying that. We actually have some really good questions in the chat that I'd love to have you answer if you're comfortable. One of them is, can you speak to the difference in engagement when you're sending to just your own contacts versus like when you send it out to other agents?
Yeah, we could pull up maybe like that holiday newsletter, the one that our
Oh,
marketing department put together.
gosh, where did it go? Here it is. Yeah, I
There.
love that.
If you can you get to the reporting on that?
Yeah, I can. I'll just
Yeah,
quickly go through and show everybody what it looked
yeah.
like before.
So that went out right at the beginning of December, and it was all these, activities. People could go and see the lights and do all that stuff, and
Let's
and
see.
that, yeah. So 42% practically on open rate. And generally, when I do send just to my contact or to my own sphere, that's about the rate I get. Sometimes it's over 50, but generally, between 40 and 50. And this one had a particularly high interaction rate because maybe because it wasn't real estate related. It was just fun stuff.
Yeah, that's good. And we had another question. How much do you think of your business in 2020 came as a direct result of your emphasis on email marketing?
Um, I think probably most of it. I mean, you're constantly in touch with these people, and
Mm-hmm.
they might not be looking on the internet for properties or whatever. There's a saying I heard when um, I first started, that if you do just one thing, uh, it's not gonna not it's like none of it works, but all of it works. So you have to be working on multiple platforms, and you don't know exactly where the business is coming from. But I've just noticed that this amps the whole thing up. You know, for example, those listings that I got right after shelter in place, they were from people whom I'm not in touch with that much, except through this regular email marketing. And they see the marketing that I do, and they give me a call. So
Yeah,
a substantial amount, but I can't say an exact percentage.
yeah, that makes sense. Well, I have a good one. How many, I guess, opportunities or sales did you get after your epic failure of a subject line?
So that was quite early. I had how many uh, in my during the year did I get after that failure?
Oh, I'm just curious if like anyone reached out to you.
Because of the fail.
Yeah,
Well, I
yeah.
think what it did do is it endeared me to all the real estate agents who've made mistakes in their marketing in a way. Uh, so, well, one of the things, my name is pretty easy to remember, but I think that made me also a little more memorable.
Yeah, you have quite the name, Mr. Pennypacker. I feel like I feel like you are in the perfect role for your name.
Yeah, it's interesting. Um, I can, before I did the email marketing, I could go like a couple years without talking to a client. And as soon as I identify myself, they say, "Oh, Bob, how you doing?" So
Yeah.
yeah, I was blessed with a memorable name, I have to say.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, thank you so much for your time today, Bob. Hopefully, our audience learned quite a bit from, your passion for selling homes and even from some of your mistakes.
It was really a joy to be here. Thank you so much again for inviting me.
Of course. Yeah, it was a pleasure. Anyone before we wrap up have any questions? Let's see. We've got some activity in the chat. Um, Bob, people are asking for your contact info. Do you feel comfortable sharing?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Uh,
I
Yeah,
should I
yeah, just the Bob.Pennypacker
at Sotheby's.
at sotheby'srealty.com. Yeah, I am so enthusiastic about this and more than happy to engage with anybody with questions or comments or whatever.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I know we had some people joining us from Rome today. So I just want to drop a
From
link
where?
for go
From
ahead.
Rome?
No, from Realm.
Oh, okay, cool.
So I just wanted to drop a link there for anyone interested in booking a demo through ActivePipe, if they don't already have ActivePipe, just to check that out. Someone has asked for recording. I will gladly send that to you. And let's see, one question, how do you delete the bedroom, bathroom? You should be able to go into the settings of the property showing and you can edit all of that. You can edit it to 0. As long as you pull it in from the feed, you should be good to go on that. And then we had another question. Bob, your market analysis, how did you put together those reports? You said you use Flipstack.
Flip snack?
Is that what you
That's
use?
Yes. There are several of them out there. The first one I started using was Issue, ISSUU. That was 8 or 9 years ago. Then I went. Another good one is Yumpu, YUMPU. But FlipSnack is part of the Sotheby's presentation suite. But they offer, you don't have to be at Sotheby's to use them. And what I like about them is just the customization you can do with the size. The other two, you're fixed to an 8.5 by 11, but you can do any size on FlipSnap.
Oh, how long do those take you to do, Bob?
Um, you know, basically you just put together a PDF. I've been doing it for so long, I can throw one together in an hour or two, depending
Mm.
on how complicated it is. But the one thing I do really like about all of those, I don't know about Issue, but Yumpu and FlipSnack, is you can embed videos in them. So, you turn the page from one video to another, and which is kind of cool.
That's awesome. Let's see. Lots of compliments.
Flip,
And say what?
yeah, flip. I see in the chat there, it's actually Flip Snack.
Oh, like a snack that you eat?
Yeah.
Okay. And then someone, I'm sorry, Lizbeth, let me show you. I just was trying to pull up an example in,
So if you go to any of those emails,
yeah,
oh,
so if you drag in a property, so you'll come in here, you'll pull in the property. Oh, actually, that one was a vacant lot, I think. Oh, no. Is this a vacant lot, Bob?
I don't know what that property is.
Oh, sorry, I'm thinking it's all yours. So this one is pulling in automatically that it doesn't have anything, but if for whatever reason you're seeing that it's pulling in bedrooms and bathrooms, it should not be, but you can just edit these and make them 0 or dash or whatever you want, and then you can add the acreage in. 6
Yeah,
acres.
and I've noticed, sometimes I've forgotten to uh, tell the marketing department about the a price change. So on our website, so where this pulls from might not have the new price on it, and I'm able to go in and edit that.
Yeah, exactly. Um, Sorry, I'm just reading all these questions. I'm terrible at multitasking. So Olivia, these should be pulling in if you have a property feed fed into your account and synced, it should just be pulling them all in and you can find them here. And a good way to tell that is actually coming up to the top, turning this on. And then when you go to the feeds on the top right here, this will show you all of the property feeds that you have pulling in. So if you're not seeing that you have anything here, then definitely reach out to support.activepipe.com so that we can get you set up with some type of property feed. It's sometimes an additional cost depending on if you don't have something like Dash, we can always try to pull in an MLS feed for you, but they charge us, so we have to charge you, unfortunately. But if you have something like Dash or like a Zillow feed, I think works as well. Those are all things we can get set up for you. Two beds, no cute icons. I think that the icons you can edit up in here. Let's see, property details. I think this is where you can hide. So this must be checked off in your account. Whoever is asking that question. So when all you need to do is when the property's in, you go to settings and then property details, and then this must be checked off in your account. And you can also adjust all of these, Bob. I don't know if you knew that. It's pretty cool. Like if you don't want amenities to show, you can delete
Ah,
this. If you don't want the price
what
showing.
tab was that under?
So as soon as the property's in, you just go to the settings
Oh, okay.
feature, and then it says property details right here. So definitely mess around with that. And you can change how many images you have showing, all of that. And then style is where you come in and change the way that you want the picture to show. Like if you want to put padding around it or crop it, that kind of thing. So hopefully I answered that question. Let's see. Alejandra, if you could just drop in your email, I would be happy to send you the recording of this. And I think that is it. I think we have answered everything. Let's see. Okay. Very helpful. Lots of compliments, Bob. So
When
thank
you
you
have a
again
great
for your
tool,
time.
it's easy to look good.
Yeah, what was your great analogy that you came up for ActivePipe?
Oh, right. Um, so, one of the most important things for me is just trying to figure out, or was figuring out why I do this.
Yeah.
Simon Sinek is one of my heroes. Starting with why. And so, in any case, ActivePipe is a corny analogy, but ActivePipe is like this super high tech bulldozer that can move mountains. But you have to decide, it's up to us to decide which mountains and why we want to move them, and it'll do it. So,
Love that. That is a fantastic way to end our presentation today. Thank you so much again, Bob, for your time. Really appreciate it.
oh,
And
it was a pleasure. And yeah, more than happy to interact with anybody who has questions or anything.
yeah, and thank you for sharing your information. Hopefully you make some good new networking connections.
All right.
All right, you have a fantastic rest of your day. And thank you everybody for joining.
Fist bump.
Fist bump. Go ActivePipe. All right, see you, Bob.
All right. Bye-bye.